Yes, good morning, children. Today I am going to teach you about the integration of princely states. But before that, you may have a look of this map given on your books, page number 15. Here, this yellow color shows the symbolizes the British India. At just after the independence, during the time, such states were there that were under British rule at that time, and some blue color that shows these states that were under the princely states. Mean to say, some states were under the control of Indian Nawabs, Nizam, like that rulers, but the governor general of these states that would belong to British only. And you say they were not fully free, but somehow they have some their administration that is looked after by the Indian Nawabs and others. So here you have to recognize these states. Like I'm going to read out some of name like West Pakistan, yellow color, East Pakistan, yellow color. There are states Assam, Bengal, then Bihar, right? Some provinces of that United provinces were there in the UP area also. This one, I am telling you, Bihar, Bengal, Assam, Khasi states, and here in this eastern belt, eastern coastal belt, whole covered by this British India, because you know that they have covered all the coastal areas from here for their trade purpose also, right? Some area in this western coast like there is Krug, Mysore, right? Some Hyderabad, Gujarat, some areas are there, Ajmer, Rajasthan. You may notice that some part, this part of Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and Rajasthan whole, this whole area was under princely states. Mean to say here the rulers were of from India only. So that's why like this Jammu Kashmir was also in the category of princely states. Here I would like to tell you about that during that time. Princely states covered almost one third of the area of the British Indian Empire, and one out of four Indians lived under princely rule. Now, this was the big problem at that time. It was the big problem over there how to get them settled, how to get them. So that was the problem to be settled down, right? How these princely states problem was to settle, how all of them have to be brought under same umbrella, that is the Union of India. That is the Union of India. That was the major problem at that time. Okay, students. So today we are going to discuss about this topic, integration of princely states. Integration of princely states. How these princely states brought under integration, brought into unity by the Indian political leaders. As we know that very well, at that time, our first Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was somewhat liberal regarding this, because we have tolerated the history of communalism, I mean to say based upon religion. Indian political leaders don't want any type of disturbance now only. There should be, people should once again fight, struggle, and there may not be any type of rights, communal rights, so that people start fighting for living areas. So that was also major problem during the integration of these princely states. But I would like to take the name of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. He himself very diplomatically he did this work. He come in front of the people, in front of all the people, where he played his role very fantastically, very diplomatic way, very decent way. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel united the people under the Union of India. Different type of negotiations are there, debates were there, and discussions were there, and in the end they reached to the integration of the princely states. Right? There is a new added topic also, the role of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel for the integration of princely states. That topic also we will discuss. Right? What was the problem? Now, what was the problem for the princely state? First problem was that city, that Travancore was under the princely states of India, mean to say Nawabs and ruler and Nizams were there. They were from India. Whatsoever they have tolerated, whatsoever they have seen previously with the political condition of India based upon the religion and other caste based issues, two nation theory, whatsoever we discussed previously. Due to that, some rulers were prepared in such a way, and even they have prepared their citizens in such a way that they wanted to be alone. They wanted that they also have declared their independence with the independence India and Pakistan, that is the partition, because they don't want to stay with India, they want to be separated. Same thing happened second Nizam of Hyderabad. He also announced that we are now free, we whatsoever wanted, accordingly we can rule, we can run our government here, there in the Hyderabad. And the same thing happened in the Nizam of Bhopal also. But when all these things were going on, this type of problem was there, that was integration of princely states. Right? I told you that role of Vallabhbhai Patel is very, very important here. He made some discussions, debates, negotiation with all these Nawabs, rulers, and diplomatically convinced them that if we are doing like that, right, everybody says that we will be independent, we will do whatsoever we like, we will run our own government. If such type of ideas are there in the minds of the citizen, just freed India, so what will happen to the future of the democracy? Very, very important. And some of them, even our political leader, convinced, while convincing the citizens, people, mass, we can say Janta of India, they said that the future of democracy would be bleak. We are talking about in the beginning economic development, establishment of democracy, accommodation of diversity. If 3-4 people from India, princely states, they are doing like that, what will be the future of democracy? That is one more question, one more challenging challenge for the Indian citizens. Not only citizens, for the rulers, for the constitutional framers, for the representatives, how to run the government, it would be a big challenge for all those people. So in this way, what was the approach of the government? As we know that at that time, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was the Prime Minister of India, and this Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel also played very, very important role to bring the princely states close towards each other. And you would be surprised to know that there were 565 small and big states. India was divided, and like I have written here, Odisha was having, at that time it was Orissa, having 26 small states, and Gujarat was divided into 14, like we have now districts and tehsils. That type of division was there, right? So that 14 big states and 119 small states. This was the division of princely states over the different states over in India. As we know that when we talk about the approach of the government, at that time Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was likely to be the deputy prime minister of India, and actual prime minister was Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and Home Minister Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, acting as Home Minister, played very diplomatically, very crucial role to bring all these states together. Okay, this was the division I wanted to tell you about, the division of the princely state. It is only a small example, and you can multiply it to the different states also, see the number and how to make them, bring them on the one corner, on the one platform, political platform. So then government approach was that, in government approach we will take role of Vallabhbhai Patel and Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. So in this way the government approach was guided by three considerations. Major three considerations were there. What were those three considerations? First was, most of the Indian people wanted to join Indian Union. That was that. So only the factor was that these people wanted to be heard, to be listened carefully, and secondly that government prepared, role of the government, here I will write role of government or approach of government, right? Government was somewhat flexible and negotiable, right? It was according to the situation, it was must that government have to be flexible, and negotiable, because once again I will mention here that two nation theory, whatsoever we have tolerated, that bad consequences. Once again India don't want to face such challenges whatsoever happened, disaster consequences of the partitions. You know what tragic, pathic condition was there, that must not be repeated once again. That's why Indian government was somewhat flexible, and that government's approach was to accommodate diversities. And third, that backdrop of the partition which brought into focus the contest over the demarcation of the territory and geographical boundaries. Okay, geographical boundaries and territories, that government don't want not now to be demarcated once again whatsoever happened, that demarcated India and Pakistan, as it was very, partition itself was very bad thing, right? Whatsoever bad consequences we have heard about that. So in this way, these peaceful negotiations, debates, discussions, and approach, what was government's approach, that was very flexible. Government don't want once again demarcation of the geographical boundaries. Government don't want once again this type of geographical boundaries would be created, and that further will lead to the once more small partitions of the country. That was very much, we can say, they have kept in mind, played very crucial role regarding these things, how to get assembled, how to get unified, how to give them integration everywhere. Got it? So that was this is the role of the government. In other words, we can got that approach of the government at that time. How government settled the matter, cope up with the situations. You know that situation was not very effectively. It was totally reverse. It was not adverse, right? It was a reversible more chances were there, because at that time it was very fresh and partition was there, and whatsoever people have got, you know that everybody does not try to understand the situation every time. So there are large number of people Indian, they were good luck, they wanted to join India, but here was the problem that India cannot say that whatsoever different communities living over there, they cannot join this, they cannot join. So overall there is a very very important term they have run for this, that was instrument of accession. That was instrument of accession. Instrument of accession. And this is sometime this question is asked for 1 mark also, right? After long debate discussions ना 15 अगस्त 1947 के बाद में this was implemented by Indian government approach to bring these states under the unified under the Union of India. Okay, Indian Constitution article number 1, it is mentioned there, Bharat or Union of India. That word is used, Union of India, means integration of all the states. Thank you. Bye students.